Charter school parents, scholars, city leaders, and educators from New York City's 5 boroughs came out in their numbers on September 28, 2016 at Prospect Park in Brooklyn to celebrate reaching 100,000 scholars in the city's charter schools. The parents and students said they also want great education opportunities for all children in the city.
We know that kids have the same right as any other public school students. So let's join together for all New York City children and ensure that all public school children have access to quality public space. Let's use everything we have, our words, our deeds, our power as parents to ensure all children get a great education in public charter schools.
We're here today because our kids are on the path to possible, thanks to great public charter schools. And we won't stop until 200,000 kids are on that same path.
How are you doing today? My name is Hussein Gamaluddin, and I am a senior at Coney Island Prep High School. How are you feeling, class of 2021? Where you at? Where you at? My parents chose Coney Island Prep for me because my district school was failing. I wasn't given the chance to be seen. They knew that if I didn't get into a great school, that was going to limit my future. But now, I am a member of the founding class of Coney Island Prep High School. And along with every single one of my classmates, I am headed to college. Way too few of my neighbors have been given this chance. But together, we're going to change that.
I know what it means to go to a school that lets you down. Before I went to Brooklyn Prospect, I was stuck in a school that barely taught me how to read. I felt lost. I knew I needed something better. So my parents entered my name in the lottery for Brooklyn Prospect, and we were lucky enough to get in. At Brooklyn Prospect, I found a home. The teachers at Brooklyn Prospect are with us every step of the way. When they look at us, they don't just see who we are today. They see the future architects, doctors, leaders that we will become. I want to speak directly to my fellow students here today because this is our fight too. We need to stand up and we need to speak out until all of our friends and neighbors can get into the school they deserve. Let's put every student on the path to possible.
Third graders from Uncommon Schools, Excellence Girls Elementary Academy, also put up a great performance for the huge crowd. 25,000 people attended the rally, including staunch supporters of the charter schools movement.
Now we're here today with a whole lot of friends and allies from across the city and the state and the federal government, friends who have been working hard on behalf of each and every one of you, folks like Jesse Hamilton and of course my good friend Ruben Diaz, who happens to be the borough president from the Boogie Down Bronx. But Ruben, we're in Kings County, and so I just have to ask the question, is Brooklyn in the house right now? Are you ready to stand up for the education of all of our children? Do you believe in the path to possible? It's wonderful to be here and to join with you and the charter school movement as we work to deal with the issue of educational equity for all of our children. Now, Frederick Douglass, the great emancipator and scholar, once made the observation that it is easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men. And yet we understand that in this city, And in this state, for decades, the system has failed tens of thousands of children who in many cases have been doomed to life sentences of disadvantage and despair. Now, the New York State Constitution promises every child a sound, basic education. And yet we understand that for far too many children, that promise has not been kept. We need to turn the situation around, and what has become clear to everyone who is paying attention is that the charter school movement has been a tremendous part of the solution. And that's why we'll continue to stand with each and every one of you. Because everyone in this city, every parent, every child deserves to have an option, regardless of race, regardless of color, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of immigration status, regardless of zip code. Every single parent and child deserves the opportunity to make sure that child can get a wonderful education, to get a first-rate education that prepares your child for the challenges of the 21st century, to give your child the opportunity to be all that they can be, to make sure that your child can pursue the American dream and bring to life their God-given talents. That's why we're here today. That's why you've made the decision. And we know that charter schools have been a phenomenal part of turning the situation around. Now, I'm here today. I've got love for the traditional public school system. I received a very good education from the traditional public school. My brother received a great education from a traditional public school. My children right now are receiving a great education from traditional public schools. But if you are in a neighborhood and your traditional public school is not performing in the way that it should be, every parent deserves an option to give your child something better. And that's what education reform is all about, because zip code should not determine your child's destiny. And yet we understand in this city that if you live in Park Slope, or you happen to live in Brooklyn Heights, or maybe you live in Riverdale or the Upper East Side of Manhattan, if your local school is not performing well, many of those parents have the resources to ensure that their child gets a great education by sending them to a private school. But a lot of parents who live in Bedford-Stuyvesant or East New York and Brownsville or Crown Heights, who live in Harlem or the South Bronx, who live in Southeast Queens or the North Shore of Staten Island, a lot of parents who live in neighborhoods all across this city don't have that opportunity. And that's why it's so important to make sure that the public charter school movement can continue to grow and to thrive. Now, we know that if you just take an objective look at the facts, charter schools in neighborhoods like Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brownsville, and Central Harlem have helped to narrow the achievement gap. Charter schools throughout the city of New York have increased the number of Black and Latino students who are proficient in math and in reading. Charter schools have given parents the ability to make sure that your child will get a sound basic education in neighborhoods that have long been forgotten. It was once said by Albert Einstein that the classic definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's why we have to shake the system up. But we understand that there will always be defenders of the status quo. There will always be individuals who are going to resist change. In this city government right now, we have folks who, despite all of the facts and the evidence, will never have a kind word to say about charter schools. Well, a former Vice President of the United States of America once referred to these type of individuals as nattering nabobs of negativism. They are persistent pessimists. cantankerous critics, notorious naysayers. In Brooklyn, we just call them haters. You know, folks who, whenever you're on the verge of a breakthrough, want to step in and block your blessing. But I just stopped by here today to say to the defenders of the status quo, stop hating on charter schools. Because every single child in the state of New York deserves a first-rate education. Black children or white children, Latino children or Asian children, Jewish children or Christian children, Muslim children or Buddhist children, suburban children, rural children, and inner-city children. Your children and our children, poor children and middle-class children, district children, and yes, charter school children. Every single child deserves a strong first-rate education, and it's not going to be easy, but we're here today to make sure that you continue to march, and you continue to fight, and you continue to struggle, and you continue to protest, and you continue to stand up. And if you don't back down, if you don't push back, if you keep moving forward, then we are going to stay in this fight and make sure that by 2020, every single child in some of these tough neighborhoods can get the education that they deserve. God bless each and every one of you.
It's good to be here in Brooklyn with all of you, with my friends, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, State Senator Jesse Hamilton, so many of the elected leaders that you will hear from. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is that today is a great day because today we celebrate surpassing 100,000 students in charter schools. And you know what? 100,000 is not the top of the mountain. We need to do more, and together we will, right? We are on the path to possible. I just want to say this, that in the crowd here today, the most important thing in our lives are our babies. To all of the parents, I, as a young dad, and I'm not a young dad anymore, and I'm going to tell you why. I understand, my wife and I understand the anxieties of being a parent, the anxieties of wondering whether our kids are going to get the best education possible, the anxieties of whether or not our kids are going to get a high school diploma and go on to get a college degree. Well, I'll tell you this, that Hilda and I, we were teenage parents, and today, our oldest, Ruben, has graduated 2 years ago from Boston College. And Ryan, our youngest, is a senior at Temple University. Hilda and I have been able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So as the board president, shame on me. As elected officials, shame on us if we don't provide the opportunities like we have for our own kids to be able to identify a school that is best for the character and the personality of our children so that they can get the best education possible, right? As the board president, I don't just talk the talk, ladies and gentlemen. As the board president, I put in millions of dollars, not just to the traditional public schools, but also to our charter schools in the Boogie Down Bronx. As the board president, all I want is while we see that places in the city of New York like the Bronx are experiencing a renaissance, experiencing economic development, all I want is as we continue to progress in my borough for our children to grow up to be equipped with the necessary tools to take advantage of those opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, charter schools are doing exactly that. And so you should know that I will continue in my capacity or any other capacity that I have to support charter schools today and making sure that in the future we have the best educational system in the city and in the state of New York.
The Danks team from Success Academy, the city's largest charter network, also entertained the large crowd.
This movement, because our kids cannot wait for us to be patient. Did you hear me? Our kids cannot wait for us to be patient. They can't wait another year, another 2 years, another 5 years, and another 10 years.
And then came the moment and guest everyone was waiting for.
Whether he has been inspiring audiences through his music, his films, his books, his activism, our next speaker has always been an artist that breaks new ground. Do you hear that? He's coming. Today, he continues to bring that same passion to end the fight of educational inequality. One of hip-hop's most innovative, positive speakers, positive voices. All right, I am pleased to welcome to the stage the man, the activist, our next speaker, Common.
Thank you for that wonderful intro. New York, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, and Harlem. My people, I love you. I want to thank God just for being here in this moment, seeing all these beautiful, incredible young minds, talented individuals, and the parents of these beautiful young minds. I'm here to say, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and my mother was a teacher. When I was in school in my 2nd grade year, the schools went on strike, and my mother put me in a private school, which is very similar to a charter school. Well, at this school, I got the attention. I met one of my most influential teachers, Mr. Brown. I was able to meet teachers who taught me about what it was to be a young black man growing up, teaching me about our history and spreading love to all individuals. And through that education and attention, I was able to learn more, be inspired more, and to have dreams. I'm here to tell you that you participating and being a part of this charter school, Success Schools, is your path to possibility. Your path to possibility has started with your parents saying, we care enough for you that we're gonna make sure that you get into these schools. No matter what neighborhood you come from, no matter how rugged it may be or great it may be, you've been shown the love to be able to get into these schools and excel as a student and as a young human being. With that being said, the seed that you have right now, young men and women, you have a chance to go out there and influence and change the world. You are getting the education, the love and support that you need to go out there and change the world. Anybody you see that's your hero out there, whether it's your mother, your father, your uncle, your cousin, your coach, your teacher, your pastor, whether it's an athlete or an artist, they all were given that seed of caring and love and education. I wouldn't be on this stage if I didn't focus on education, and I'm still learning. But But I'm encouraging each and every one of you to make sure not only do our kids here get to be a part of the charter schools, but that we stand up to expand so that other kids that don't have these opportunities get to be a part of the charter schools, because they need the attention and the learning too. So young children, young men and women, I'm just encouraging you to go out there and change the world. Remember, you're God's children. And whenever you put the Creator first, you can do anything. I stand on this stage because I stand for you. And I do stand for social justice and racial justice in our country. So no matter what color you are, it's time for you to stand up for justice and righteousness and love. You don't have to be older, younger. All you have to be is be involved and be present and be willing. Well, I created this piece that talks about social justice. It's called Black America Again, because as many of us have seen, equality for black people and black and brown people is not happening in this country, and it's all our responsibility at this point. So I'm gonna say to y'all this piece, and then we gonna get into some more music. This is Black America Again. Here we go. Here we go again. Trayvon will never get to be an older man. Black children, they childhood stole from them, robbed of our names and our language, stole again. Who stole the soul from black folk? Same man that stole the land from Chief Black Smoke and made the whip crackle on our back slow, made us go through the back door and raffle black bodies on the slave blocks. Now we slave to the blocks, cause on them we spray shots, leaving our own to lay in a box. Black mother's stomach staying or not. We kill each other, it's part of the plot. I wish the hating would stop. We are at war and a battle with us. I know that black lives matter and they matter to us. These are the things we gotta discuss. The new plantation, mass incarceration. Instead of educate, they rather convict the kids. As dirty as the water in Flint the system is. Is it a felony or a misdemeanor? Maria Sharapova making more than Serena. It took Viola Davis to say this. The roles of the help and the gangsters is really all they gave us. We need Avas, Ta-Nehisi's, and Cory Bookers. The salt of the earth to get us off of sugar and greasy foods. I don't believe the news or radio stereotypes, we refuse. Brainwashed in the cycle to spin. We write our own story, Black America Again. Hot damn Black America Again. Think of Sandra Bland as I'm staring in the wind. The color of my skin, they comparing it to sin. The darker it gets, the less fairer it has been. The hate made, I inherited from them. But I ain't gonna point the finger. We got anointed singers like Nina, Marvin, Billy, Stevie. Need to hear them songs, sometimes to believe me. Who freed me, Lincoln or Cadillac? Drinking or battle raps? Or is it Godspeed that we travel at? Endangered in our own habitat. Them guns and dope, man, y'all can have it back. As a matter of fact, we them lab rats. You built the projects for, now you want your hood back. I guess if you could rap, you would express it too. That PTSD, we need professionals. You know what pressure do. It makes the pipes bust from schools to prison, y'all. They tryna pipe us to your political parties, invite us. Instead of making voting laws to spite us. You know, we from a family of fighters, fought in your wars and our wars. You put a brother in Star Wars, maybe you need two. And then maybe then we'll believe you. See black people in the future. We wasn't shipped here to rob and shoot ya. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Our men and women are created equal, including black Americans. I want to salute the parents. I want to salute the teachers and the principals. Shout out to Eva and everybody, every instructor that's taking time out to be a part of this Success Schools and the Path to Possibility. And I salute all the kids out there. Just be who you are, be free, be black, be Hispanic, be white, be Latino, be Asian, be Native American, be free, be us. Let's just be. Yeah. Brooklyn, New York. Harlem. Yeah, yeah. Let me see. Put your hands in the air like this, y'all. Get your hands in the air like this, yeah. Wave the flags back and forth, nigga. Get up in the sky. Get up up high. They might say Chicago night stay. Stay on the line. I write many lines, baby. Make all these lines, make the signs, all the times. Really say the lines on the line. So this brother, every girl wanna rhyme. Push your lies, push your border lies. We got arms, more peace for the skies, waiting for them on the rise. I'm looking into my daughter's eyes. Realize I'ma learn through her. The Messiah might even return through her. If I'ma do it, gotta change the world through her. Stay haunting her. The chosen one, gonna be the present is a gift, and I just wanna be.
I met him when I was a little girl. He gave me poetry and he was my first. But in my heart I knew I wasn't the only one. Cause when those tables turned up, he had to break. Whenever I got lonely, I needed some advice. He gave me his shoulder. My
mic sound nice.
And it's all behind me.
Yeah, yeah.
But it didn't clear.
How you feel right now? Queens, New York. I ain't leaving you out. Harlem, the Bronx, Staten Island. Everybody here in New York. I love New York, y'all. And I love hip-hop music.
Common brought his star power to the rally stage with his rap and invited kids to come break dance. And hey, he wasn't shy to showcase his own breakdance moves too.
New York is red hot. New York is red. We get the crowd spark. We keep it going. This is like the art. Common sense, sometimes I'm logical. This is like the path to possible. You know how I just advance ya. Early on the stage was the dancers from the Bronx and the BK. Right now my DJ, he from BK. Yo, get the money. For all y'all, you know his name is DJ Dummy. It sounds sunny, this a good day. Coming through the Brooklyn, y'all, in a hood way. Respecting that love and anticipation and a meditation. It's about education. Yeah, I'm truly a believer. That's why I had to support my girl Eva. Check it, I'm down. I'm coming from where the place shot down. Yeah, I came to rule, y'all go rule the charter schools. We do these things, these are my tools. When it come to microphones, you know I never lose. We get it all started. Common sense have always been people wholehearted. People with me, you know you with me. Down in the Harlem, this is like Common, like my own column. For my people out here, this is what I do, yo. I inherit these type of styles for the kids and the parents, the teachers, the principals, conversensible. Understand my microphone's invincible. The path to possible, told you it's logical. When it come down, we can go to college too. Yo, I got a spot for you. You should understand imagination and knowledge do. So many things, so many dreams that we had. I got it first from my dad and my mother. Told you that I used to love her. Some new things that we discovered. My record cover had me and my mother on it. Now I'm like all up on it cause I want it. This is what I do. Sum up the situation. Yo, it's common. Say what? Come on. What you know about the light, New York? need to write this. Queen, I ain't seen you in a minute. Wrote this letter and finally decided to send it. Sign, seal, deliver for us to grow together. Love has no limit, let's spin a slow forever. Your heart is weathered by what's done did to you. I ain't gon' sorrow, I did it too. Cause you feelings I handle with care. Brothers recognize your life, they can't handle the glare. Hey, I ain't the type to walk around with matching shirts. A relationship is effort, I'm not your work. Be the one to make you happiest, hurt you the most. The end is near, come close to the most high. Regardless of what happened on him, that's your life. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, Success Schools. Keep spreading love. Thank you to all the parents out there. As I said, we stand up right now for our children. For our children to have the best education, to have safety, to have love, so that our children won't be afraid to go down the streets and be stopped by police who judge them, police who look at them and automatically have a bias. And that's not every police officer, but we gon' change the way the system is thinking and treating us as a whole. And we gon' spread more love to ourselves.
Common crowned his performance with their Oscar-winning song, Glory.
To God be the glory.
When the glory comes, it'll be ours, it'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure.
They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, but king became Rico. Saw the face of Jim Crow under a raw ego. The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win a war individually. It takes the wisdom of the elders. Young people's energy. Welcome to the story called Victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory. To God be the glory.
Parents and educators in attendance said the rally was a very significant event for charter schools.
It was an important step for City Hall and also other politicians as well to see that the parents are coming together, even the students are coming together. There was a huge tapestry of over 10,000 students, all charter school, not just Success Academy, that all had their own takes on what it means to be on the path to possible. And just seeing those was tremendous because you have the kindergartners who are drawing pictures of what they want to be when they grow up. You see high schoolers who are happy that they actually have access and a real possibility to get a college education. Bringing this together and making it real, I think, is the most important thing. For us to come together and show strength in numbers so that this isn't a passing fad, this isn't just something to take away resources. This is a way for us to not only give back to our community here in New York City, but for our children to be able to give back to the country as they get older.
We wanted to celebrate the fact that we have about 100,000 kids in charter schools now, which is a huge celebration for the city of New York. And then secondly, we wanted to call on all of our school leaders and our city leaders and our state leaders to recognize that we need more charter schools. We want to provide quality education for the kids who come into our building, but we also want to continue to fight for that equality everywhere. And so we are going to continue to fight and continue to make our voices heard and until we see that every child has the right to an equal and world-class education.
When I heard of this rally happening, I said it's great because You have a lot of schools, and it's bad enough. With a lot of schools, they don't want to even teach inner city kids. Because you go to a lot of other areas where there's not inner city kids, they got everything that an inner city kid needs to excel.
Parents also touted the strengths of charter schools and the great education their kids are getting.
Public schools were good at one point, but even the outdated books, everything they got, the teachers, you don't know who you got teaching your kids. Then now, you got charter schools with real teachers, passion teachers, with a heart, blood inside their veins to teach your kid. And it's making a difference. Your kid was on a level 1 reading, now he's level 20. What happened that didn't happen in the other school?
My daughter has been going to this amazing school for the past 10 years. And the emotion that I feel for her with this opportunity to learn so much, I think that all New York students should have that opportunity as well.
I've had multiple parents who have been on the wait list for a few years, and they want their neighbors and their cousins and their sisters and their brothers and all of their children that they know to be able to access this education as well.
Space is another concern that these parents want the city to hear. Under state law, only 32 more charter schools are allowed, and these parents find that troubling.
For my son's school, our biggest concern is once he leaves elementary, once he leaves middle school, where does he go? Right now for Success Academy in particular, there is only one high school. There's nothing in Brooklyn, which we have about 10 schools that need a high school. So space, especially for our older students, is the #1 thing. And continuing to expand the access to quality education. My son travels about an hour to get to his school because there aren't really good schools in our neighborhood, and there are families who are traveling multiple hours one way. So that's one, making sure that there's a quality education.
It'd be great if they really put money into communities where education and bad schools are, change the schools up, allow the people in the schools to work closer, put teachers in there with a passion, put money into the schools, fix the schools around, and build more schools in areas where there's nothing. We got too much open lots, too many open spaces. Why not build something? Build another charter school for kids. You have space all over New York City. There's space right now in places no one got. Lots they could tear down and rebuild with a school. All they gotta do is look. It's there. They just want prime location.
We're in talks every year to make sure that we're getting enough space for our kids to be able to grow and to flourish. We continually have parents involved in any type of political atmosphere that we can. There might not be a rally, but we're definitely going to continue to have our parents voice their opinions and have them have their voices be heard. And that's our main goal.
The parents also said they want all New York City parents to have more school options for their kids.
The education is just simply amazing. I'm just overwhelmed that how the teachers and the staff, they just put so much into teaching a child. And I think that not only is it a decision, it's a choice that a parent should make, and the fact that being able to have being able to say, okay, then I want to send my child to a charter high school, it should be or any charter school. I think New York City should raise the cap for charter schools to give every family the opportunity to make that decision.
10% of public school students in the city attend charter schools, but there is the myth that charter schools are not public schools, with some critics saying that they drain resources from traditional public schools that share space with them.
We are a public school, and I think that's a misconception. Charter schools are public schools, and we deserve just equal rights, we deserve equal funding, we deserve equal space. We're serving the same kids in the same community, and we want all public schools to be great, whether it's a charter or a district school. Our end goal is to have kids have have world-class educations wherever that may be, and for parents to have access to that. Charter schools are a little bit different in the fact that we're publicly funded, but we're privately run. So, you know, we have our own internal charter that is upholded by SUNY that we have to abide by, and in that our teachers do not have to be a part of the teachers union, because we want to be able to have the freedom to develop our teachers however we want to be able to make our school day longer if we need to, and to do all those things that is the best for kids. And so we want to make sure that we can make the decisions that we want our teachers and our staff to do with our kids that ends up helping them in the long run.
For some parents, this rally was more than just a rally.
The other part that's never discussed is just about civics. For my son to see what it means to stand up for what you believe in, come together as a group, and peacefully protest. We see stuff on the news about protest all the time. This is a simple way and an easy way for a child to understand the importance of protest peacefully.
All these parents who gathered here today say a great education is possible for every child in New York City. They say they want the number of children in charter schools to double to 200,000 in 2020. From Prospect Park, Brooklyn, Florence Mafomeme reporting.